So, are we ready? Okay, let's give our attention to Daniel.
Good morning. My name is Daniel. Today is my presentation for portfolio. In the interpreter of Malala unit in the complete in my essay, which told my about many things. For example, I learned about MLA, what situation still. In the other example is I learned about two young Larry's story from collection interpret of Malala. The other is I learned about making connection between the story of my life, and I learned about comparing contrast to matching about 10 words in the two different stories. I learned and identify is idea learned from interpret of Malala in my English class that prepared my knowledge in the several ways. This meaning, for example, I was practice in my learning about identify because many people are identify who they are or they are tradition of characters. I learned more about this practice because I know display identify of other display. My evidence is I worked too long say about them identify in interpret of Malala. One idea I learned more about is what who use ML code situation. This means to see it correctly in the show who word the information who you use. Learn more about this practice me because it's important to see correctly and because it's a little more professional. My evidence is good is I go to college now is to using MA in my class. One idea I learned more about in this unit was making connection between a story in our life. This means make connection between my life and the people in the story. Learn more about this impressed me because I read that story man coming to United States and along in this connect to my life because when I come into United States I come in alone. And my evidence is in the practice skill is illustrated by fact to some story tell about when people lost their family members, and this story connects to my because people can keep going in their life. One idea I learned about in this unit was comparing and contrast. That's matching about 10 words in the two different stories. This means tell about what is the same, what is the different about in the two stories. Learn more about in this point me because the impact of skill in the story in the fact that my essay how comparing contrast one about told about the whole story. Evidence is important. The evidence is this is important because the story can say both how compare and contrast. What they are clear about in this unit was speak with tutor to check my ideas on writing. And this I mean that tutor helping me in my English, in the very my writing in English. I learn more about this impact me because speak with the tutor helping me show my ideas and they help me with writing make the essay correctly. The evidence that helped me write more specific ideas in the more detail in the compare and contrast in the essay. One idea I learned more in this unit was writing complex paragraphs. And this means when you can put all ideas together and you can write about your life and can explain what happened. Learn more about this practice because writing paragraph helped me her in my better and my write in English in writing in my own word ideas. The evidence is I have wrote many paragraphs in English for my essay is how to write for the most important in writing paragraph. The conclusion is I learned about interpreting Malala in English class to meet new novels, skill in English, the women, parents which are really impact not say well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. So we have a few questions for you now. Yes. So if you want to look at the questions on the pink paper, we can look on here. Oh yeah, we did the interpreter of maladies part, the bottom part. Let's have a question.
No have paper, right? No have paper, right? No have paper. No have any question.
So one thing that you practiced doing, you said, was the MLA quote citation. What does it mean? What is it?
This is important because when you read the stories, you see that in the theme is how. Do you remember when you put Malarai or come in the
Wait, what?
The quotation mark.
Comillas?
yeah,
The quotation marks?
Yeah,
Comillas?
quotation
Uh-huh, yeah, uh-huh.
in the when put it the name the story and then use the parentheses is a more important idea and what talking about in conclusion use it there.
Uh-huh, okay, and yeah, what do the quotation marks show? When you see the quotation marks?
This show is the part the more specific the name.
So the ones, the comillas, the quotation marks, it shows, like in your essay, what
Oh,
does it show?
yeah, I show in my essay in the when I read about the both stories, I use the point, use a quotation mark and parentheses.
Okay. Question?
No, that's it.
So can you tell us more about the stories that you read? You read 2 stories,
Yeah.
right? What was the name of, so you read Interpreter of Maladies, and do you remember what was the other name of the other story? Or what was it about?
The other story I don't remember about, but I remember the man is living in India. He lived to London, in England, and he passed for many countries. And when coming to the United States, he lived for many people. He know how family here, and for the other parties, he married when he back India, he married for that woman. Pero he know who is.
And yeah, great. And can you say more about his identity? You talked about identity, like your traditions, your
Identity-
characters, and in the story, what was his identity like? Did it change? Did it stay the same?
Alright, the identity is the, for example, the Indian woman, you can see the Mary in your hand. This is one identity because he showed the tradition, and he speaks your language or your characteristic when you're angry, or you show where your characteristic.
And do you remember at the end of the story, he talks about he gets older and he has a son, and
Oh,
they talk about the son. Can you say anything about the identity, the Indian identity, the
Oh.
American identity?
he, the man he is the man thinking in the future when he have children. He told to him that continue the tradition for your country.
Good, thank you. Okay. Okay, if you guys don't ask the questions, I will ask the questions. Okay. Let's see. Okay, you answered a lot of the good questions. Okay. Oh, you answered a lot of them actually. Yeah, you already answered a lot of the questions. How about this question? Okay, we asked some other people and it was difficult. How do you find the theme of a story? Theme. What do you do to find the theme of the story? Or what does it mean? What is theme?
Theme
Remember?
is the the most important in the story.
Okay, yeah. And so how do you find it?
I think when you read the story and you have the most important, you put in the theme.
And so then maybe your teacher will say, okay, write an essay about the theme. When you write the essay, why is it good to use quote, to use like part of the essay, like evidence from the essay, from the story? Why is it good to use evidence in your essay to show the theme?
It is that you put all ideas together, and the conclusion is the most important, and you have the theme.
And so why do you use evidence?
Because you need something can support you essay or the document.
Okay. Good. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, great. Okay.